Alright, we're recording now, folks. Ready? In my eyes, indisposed, in disguises no one knows, hides the face, lies the snake, the sun in my disgrace, boiling heat, somber stench, neath the black the sky looks dim, call my name through the dream, and I hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come? Alright. R.I.P. Chris Cornell. Let's see what we're going to do today. I'm going to play for you first. This is a video put out by the YouTube channel called Karlee Sunshine. Now, she drove to the new billboard that says Research Flat Earth, and we're going to look at this. This was yesterday on, 2 days ago on July 8th. Let's go to that clip now. Coming up.
Hey, there it is, everyone. I made it. Oh my gosh, this thing is so gigantic, and you can see it from so far away. So what it's doing, because it's digital, it's scrolling through several advertisements. So I'm going to watch it here for a few moments. This thing is massive. Wow. Should be coming up soon. I mean, in my excitement, I tried to record this as I was going down the highway, but it's very hard to get my phone focused, and I don't know if you guys could, read it. And, there it is again. That is amazing. Well done. And this thing, you can see it from so far away. I could see it from almost an Exeter 2 back. It was just absolutely insanely huge. I'm so excited. I'm actually a little bit shaking. I'm just it's a little bit nerve-wracking trying to find my way back here. Where I parked, it's a little sketchy. There's like chain link fence around here with like barbed wire, but it's pretty empty. I'm staying pretty safe. Gonna watch it change a few more moments. This is just so big. It's amazing. There it is. How many people are seeing that? I'm so glad it was lit up facing me the way I was coming, because I was coming down the road heading east. That's just fantastic.
Alright, folks, now wasn't that fun? So Karlee went there and she filmed this new billboard. It says Research Flat Earth, okay? Now, what I'm going to do in this video is give you some pointers on where to go if you're researching and you find this video. I'm Alex Aquarius, and I'm going to tell you where to go to start your research. And I'm going to help you so that you can become a flat earther too. Number one, I've got 12 points here I'm going to cover. I've got my other laptop here. Let's see. Van Allen radiation belts. You know, if you're talking about going to the moon, the Van Allen radiation belts are in 3 bands. They go from pole to pole around the round Earth. And they start at about 12,000 miles up, and they go up to 25,000 miles up. Allegedly, Apollo 11 was taking pictures of the big blue marble at 110,000 miles out, and the moon is 238,000 miles out. So you have to go through the Van Allen belts to get to the moon, according to heliocentric theory and what NASA told us between 1969 and 1972. All right, now, 2. There's a video by a YouTube channel called ODD Reality. Odd Reality, if you want to look at it that way. He says it's ODD. That's his name. And he tells you 5 people of the government and NASA officials who are telling you that we have never gotten above low Earth orbit. Now, low Earth orbit is usually 250 miles up, circling the plane, or a globe if you're thinking of it that way, but it's only 250 miles up. The highest, I think, is 400. That's considered low Earth orbit. And we have not gotten out of low Earth orbit, including President Obama saying, one day we're going to learn how to get out of low Earth orbit and go to the moon, Mars, and other planets. And that's our challenge for the next decade. But didn't they do that back in the 60s and 72? Okay. So, let's see. I told you about the Van Allen belts. Rocket launches, they usually take off, from Cape Canaveral. They're in Florida. They go up, they go sideways. By the time they begin an Earth orbit trajectory, then they're supposed to exit from that and then launch out of that to the moon. So first, that's why shuttle's always hanging upside down, and it's going horizontal before you see it go out of sight. I think it really just lands because it's a jet. So anyway. That's about 17,500 miles an hour that it gets to with those rocket boosters, okay? And that's in low Earth orbit. Again, that's where we don't see it anymore. So you might want to study trajectory and exit trajectory in low Earth orbit, okay? Now, there's a video that came out, and the video on YouTube is called "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon." There was some video released by NASA on accident that wasn't supposed to be for the public about 10 years ago. Or it was 2004, I believe. And it's a film on the inside of the capsule of the Apollo 11 astronauts filming the Big Blue Marble through a round portal window with the lights off in the cabin, and what looks like a forgery because the window is round. Because they're really in low Earth orbit, you couldn't get a picture of a ball Earth from that close if it was a ball Earth, right? So another thing you might want to look up is the curvature of the Earth. The formula is 8 inches times miles squared. Okay, so you take the number of miles, like say you're 5 miles, square that to 25, and multiply it times 8 inches, and find out the distance that the object you're looking at should drop down that you can't see below the curvature between you and it. That's the formula. So you might want to look up the Bedford level experiment in England. Is popular, but look at the curvature formula. There's a video on YouTube you can look at that proves that thrust is not possible in a vacuum, and all you've got to do is type in that thrust is not possible in a vacuum. This laboratory test, they suck the air out of a container, have a fan in there trying to blow a feather. Feather's not moving. And another thing you want to look at is the Red Bull jump by Felix Baumgartner. Okay, there were 2 cameras on that balloon. One is showing the Earth going up like this, going concave, going flat, going convex. The other camera has a flat lens, and it just looks like a flat horizon as far as you can see. What was he up? I can't remember, 80,000 feet or more. Was it 120? I don't remember. But the horizon's flat. The only thing that makes it curvy looking is a fisheye lens. Okay. Another thing to look at that you want to look up for why would NASA be doing this is look up Jack Parsons in Pasadena, California, in a project he did called Babylon Working and the Moon Child. Okay, he was an occultist, and he was out about it. He died in an accident in his late 40s, mid 40s, but he actually lived in a building and was friends with L. Ron Hubbard. So look into that whole history of the origin of JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and Jack Parsons, who really started NASA, went to Virginia, wound up in Florida, Alabama, Texas, and California. Okay, so the other thing that you want to look at is everything that has to do with the spinning Earth model as far as the seasons, the equinoxes, the movement of the stars, Polaris, the pole star. It can all be converted and changed to the flat Earth model. So don't just say right off the bat that, oh, that won't work on a flat Earth model. There's no way. Why don't you see how it works on the flat Earth model? Some of the other videos that you can look up, there's one called 200 Proofs by a guy named Eric Dubay, D-U-B-A-Y. There's another series of videos by a man named Mark Sargent called Flat Earth Clues. Those are good to watch also. One of the last points I want to bring up here, if you want to see that they didn't go to the moon, why don't you look up the orange juice stains on the pictures from the Hasselblad cameras. Hasselblad cameras were the ones they wore on their chest. And this, you know, they had orange juice in a straw they were sipping from while they would be on the moon in their spacesuits. But this orange juice went through the seal around the helmet, dripped out, and went into the camera and is on the film. Okay, now think about that. If liquid can get through the seal of the helmet, that astronaut was dead. It didn't happen. He was either somehow he didn't die, because if liquid can get through a seal, the vacuum of space is going to get in there and suck you through it, or do something to you, you know, make it pop your, like Schwarzenegger's face, you know, on Mars. Or he was in a studio drinking his orange juice, and it dripped through the seal, and it went onto the film. Just look up the orange juice stains on the Hasselblad film. Other things you look up ISS, Space Station hoax. Look up, that's about enough. That'll give you a good start. I'm Alex Aquarius. Remember, come back to the Plain Mundane Show, click like or subscribe, and I will see you later when I upload another video. Have fun and have a great day. Goodbye.